held on the traditional territory of the Sunamo people. I always enjoy making these large proclamations on special days to a grand audience of 3. Hopefully there's more people watching, but Orange Shirt Day began as a commemorative event in Williams Lake, BC in the spring of 2013. It grew out of Phyllis's story, the story of Phyllis Webstad having her shiny new shirt taken away on her first day of school at St. Joseph's Mission School in 1973. September 30th has been declared Orange Shirt Day annually in recognition of the harm the residential school system did to children's self-esteem and well-being, as an affirmation of our commitment to ensure that everyone around us matters. It has also become an opportunity to keep the discussion on all aspects of residential schools happening annually. This year, Orange Shirt Day is particularly meaningful in the Nanaimo Ladysmith Public Schools. In June 2017, we introduced an updated strategic plan that included reconciliation as one of our 4 board goals. Justice Murray Sinclair, chair of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, stated, "It was education that got us into this mess, and it is education that will get us out." We are living in an historic and remarkable moment in time. The district feels that it is its responsibility to transition between talking about reconciliation and begin living it. We at NLPS have embarked on bringing this goal to life and are extremely proud to be working with our students, our staff, our local First Nations, communities, local governments, and the entire community in which we live and work. By leading this change in Nanaimo Ladysmith, the district strives to be a model of change while inspiring others to embark on their own path of reconciliation. So, September 30th, orange shirts. Thank you everyone for listening. Is there any transfer of items to the open meeting? I don't believe there are. Any additions tonight? Any deletions? Any changes in order? Any objection to approving the agenda? Look at us go. Any objections to approving the minutes? Any objections to receiving the Section 73 report, 72.3 report, sorry? Okay. Announcements and reminders. I just would like people to make note that the regular board meeting in October is being held on Wednesday, October 18th, instead of the following week. And that is because the Ministry of Education, the BCSTA, is holding their annual liaison day, and myself and Steve and John and Carrie will not be here. So we need to move the meeting date to the Wednesday previous. October 18th is the date of the meeting. There is a non-instructional day next Friday and on Friday, October 20th. Everything else is the same, I think. So we're supposed to have a presentation. I do not see our presenters here at this point, so maybe we'll circle back around if they make it, because this is one of my favorite presentations of the year. No correspondence. Let's move on to our trustee zone reports. Trustee Solomon, we'll start with you.
Oh, just a couple of quick things. Obviously the schools are pretty busy, and I'm leery about going in when things are so popping all over the place. But yeah, I checked into a couple of the schools, and yeah, just really busy, happening places. People are moving around all over the place. I was just saying at Cedar Elementary, it's a bit of a loss with they lost the foods room to make it into a classroom. Space is a premium right now, but there's going to be another renovation that'll bring back, I think, a kitchen facility in the school, so that'll be a big plus for them for sure. Yeah, it's juggling the play times, you know, when you have a school, 350 kids out on the playground. It's pretty interesting. I saw the little kids playing. They had their hockey time at on the hard top. So you see the 5, 6, 7-year-olds and playing, and the other kids are off to the other part. It's hard to look after that playground area. It's fairly large, isn't it? Anyway, they do really good. The high school is really happening too. It's up and running, and it's going good.
Thank you.
Just very brief.
Awesome. Thank you. Trustee Kimler.
Sure. So for Ladysmith Intermediate School, and as all of the schools in the Ladysmith zone, of course, they're undergoing startup, and this is the year of the Supreme Court decision, so there's a little bit more chaos at school startup than as usual. But at Ladysmith Intermediate School, they have had a parent power-up workshop. So the Ladysmith Intermediate School PAC hosted a parent workshop on September 17th. The workshop was by Carrie Isham, and it helped parents who wanted to have healthy, positive, sex-positive, open, and honest communication with their children about sex education, including topics on puberty, hygiene, health, relationship, sexually transmitted diseases, sexting, gender, and sexual orientation. I have no report for the Ladysmith Primary School. For ECOL North Oyster, I'm going to provide a little bit of a place-based update. So in 2013, North Oyster Elementary amalgamated with ECOL Davis Road to become ECOL North Oyster. And the school population went from 80 to over 300 students. Existing play equipment was inadequate and, according to parents, dangerous. So the parents formed a committee in an effort to fundraise and build a new play space. So 3 years have passed, and though progress has been made and plans have been submitted to the facilities department, fundraising is still ongoing. And SD 68 has budgeted in this year $15,000 in support of the project. But the fact remains that kids are still without playground equipment and will be for some time. Some people may have seen in the news recently that McGurr recently completed the first inclusive and accessible playground equipment or playground space in the district after having raised more than $400,000 from community partners. It took them over 4 years to complete the project, and I have a link to their news announcement about it. And in thinking about this, I was reminded of a time that Fairview Elementary won the library lotto, which was a $6,000 prize from Indigo Love of Reading Fund, and I have a link to that as well. So I guess my point is that while these successes should be applauded, it's concerning to me that public education must turn to parents and contests for funding. And that such funding reliance creates an inequity within our public system. All students deserve equal access to such things as books, playground, and sports equipment. And the reason I brought this up is because the newly elected BC Education Minister, Rob Fleming, is quoted as saying, "I've always found it absurd that parents have to spend a huge amount of time fundraising for things like playground equipment. And we've made a commitment that that's not going to happen anymore." And I have a link to where he made that comment. So I guess I'm a little disappointed that the DPAC chair isn't here tonight, because I'm hoping that it doesn't have to happen anymore. And with this in mind, I would encourage the DPAC to determine how many school PACs are trying to fundraise for basic educational necessities and present a budget request to the school boards to have these needs met, or at least an ask put in to have an increase in funding for the district to cover these costs. So for Ladysmith Secondary School, and on a little bit more of a positive note, I'd like to talk again about the Natsumat Sayas, or Working Together as One project. So I've reported on this project before, but because we're all wearing orange shirts, and the Orange Shirt Day is on the 29th, and also because the school board has made reconciliation one of their strategic board goals, I believe that it's worth revisiting. Over the summer, and I'm not certain why it was released during the summer vacation, but Shaw Television in Nanaimo did a 3 to 4 minute segment on this ongoing project in Ladysmith. And the goal of this project is to work with the Stamanas First Nation Master Carver, John Marston, to help weave Aboriginal understandings into the Ladysmith Secondary School community. And this represents, I think, a change in how our society views and works with our native Aboriginal peoples. And I think it's a first step towards reconciliation. It's a powerful and poignant journey for anyone involved in the project. And I'd like to share with you the video, which does a better job narrating the story than I. But regardless, this project is a worthy one, and I think something that the district should be very proud of, and should share its story and success with other districts and with the Ministry of Education. In short, I think we're really doing some great things here, and those involved should be applauded and proud of the good work that they're doing. So I've asked Dave to show the presentation. It's about 3 minutes long.
Fragments of cedar are meticulously shaved and carved from a 14-foot log under the watchful eyes of students in the foyer at Ladysmith Secondary School. Cerritos First Nation master carver John Marston is coaxing the form of an eagle out of the log, which will become a welcoming figure at the school, helping to forge Aboriginal understandings in the community.
Our foyer when our school was renovated, it was never finished. And for a long time, our staff and students and our community has been looking for a way to bring Coast Salish understandings and recognition to the forefront of our educational experience and our experience together as a community.
The students learn the Hulkamean language, hear stories from Seminis elders, and participate in other activities, including working with Marston on creating a Coast Salish feel at the school.
The work we're doing now is transformative because we're working together. The title of our project, Not Smart CAs, working together as one. This is how we'll move forward together.
The first stage of the project that began over 2 years ago saw Marston carve 4 traditional house posts that now stretch upwards just inside the main entry doors. Students are busy weaving mats to adorn the walls while Marston works on the eagle.
The welcome carving is part of a traditional way of welcoming people into your territory, and the posts in behind have become, like, what we're creating is like a house for our students to walk into, or for people to walk into, and we're creating a space that is culturally rich, and it kind of feels like home.
The Working Together as One project is seen as the first steps on the road to reconciliation.
This project is really important to my job as the First Nation teacher here in Ladysmith. My main goal and objective is to teach non-First Nation people about our culture and our language, and to have a project as big as this to come in and show our students the beauty of our culture, the beauty of our language, and to see our First Nation students grow and get a lot stronger, seeing their own culture right in their own school.
As we work together toward truth and reconciliation, the best way to do that is to come with an open heart and an open mind, and the willingness to listen and to learn. And I think we have that now. We have that happening, and it just feels really beautiful.
Coming together now is just part of a whole new way of thinking that our society is coming to. And we're looking at things differently than we did 20 years ago, where cultural diversity is becoming our strong aspect of who we are as a nation. We have a long ways to go to make things better, but it only happens, I think it happens one person at a time. The great thing about Ladysmith is that everyone wants change, and everyone wants things to be better for our children and for our own lives.
Good. I don't really have anything more to say, but there you go.
A little emotional.
I guess first of all, thank you for your presentation. It was really nice. So I have nothing to report other than I've made arrangements to go to visit the schools in my new zone. I've been assigned to NDSS, and I'm looking forward to meeting with our teachers and principals and students.
As well, I haven't been out to my zone, new zone at this point, but I have heard from some teachers and students just that with the extra bodies at NDSS, it's a little bit of chaos in the first little bit, just figuring out where everybody is, and teachers and students and drop-offs and traffic and all that craziness around NDSS, but that's just general stuff. Startup. Yeah.
Thank you, and also thank you, Trustee Kimmerer. That was a very good presentation. I had missed that over the summer.
I can't take any credit for the video,
but the fact that you brought it forward, thank you, because I had missed it completely.
Yeah, good time.
I have now in the Dover zone. I have connected with all of my principals, talked to them mostly by email. I haven't physically been to most of the schools because it's chaos. Well, not chaos, but it's busy. And the best thing and the most respectful thing we can do for teachers and for principals in September is just let them get settled in and not visit. So the sort of the conversation's been visit in October and we'd love to see you. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I did go to the Dover Bay Parent Teacher Night, particularly specifically for the grade 8s, and learned again more about the new grade 8 program. Wonderful, wonderful presentation from all of the staff around that. It's available online at doverbay.ca, I believe is the link. I will check that and confirm and send it out. They have a fantastic website. I've looked at it at home. It lays out everything around the new curriculum, around how they're doing things for how they're combining programs for the grade 8s, and how, for example, what we called physical education back when we were students. They're not calling it physical education anymore. It's healthy living, and it's become more holistic. And they're incorporating a whole lot of other things than just sports and physical activity. It's just fantastic. So this is a really great evening. We've had open houses at Randerson, McGurr, and Seaview. Tonight actually is Seaview's, and I wasn't able to be there because it's tonight. And then tomorrow there is a parent night, an open house I should say, at Frank Nay, but they've asked me to come for they have a meet and greet, a pizza event prior to the actual open house, so they've asked me to come to that, so I'm going to go and meet the pack and meet people there and attend that. Frank Nay, they have started the work on the expansion. Things are very crowded there. Things are quite hectic because they are still waiting for one more portable. The new parking lot is working quite well from what I've heard. That looks really good, and it's working as they would hope. So things are going as well as can be expected there. Open houses tomorrow also at Pleasant Valley and at Rutherford. Pleasant Valley also had a welcome back barbecue for the community, which I didn't attend because I actually wasn't aware of it, because that was prior to myself and Trustee Robinson switching. So, but I did go to Pleasant Valley a week or so ago, and I sat down with Principal McGonigal and just talked how about things are going there, and their things are going there as well. They have got another portable coming. So basically, it's just we are really tight for space in the North End, as we expected. Yeah, lots of growth and lots of new people coming into the area with all the new construction and so on and so forth. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, I would also add, sorry.
It's okay.
Mr. Davey facilitated our first meeting of the year for the Rutherford transition team, and that went quite well. I thought we had a lot of good open dialogue, representation from all the schools connected, so that was really, really good. And the Safe Schools Committee, which I'm on, has not yet met, but I'm hoping that we will meet soon, because we've got some subcommittees that have begun to form. And I made a commitment that over the next couple of months to try to visit all of the GSA, Gay Straight Alliance groups in all the high schools this year and see what's going on, because we haven't had a good update on safe schools in a while. So I would like to see that happen this fall. So I will commit to that.
Excellent, thank you. I'm looking forward to our enrollment update next week based on that. And also, can you just, for the public, but maybe the people who are watching, the McGurr playground dedication, which is open to the public, I believe?
Yes, I believe so.
Which is an excellent initiative, the first fully accessible playground in the district, and these parents have worked so hard to get it done, and our district staff helped install things. And so, do you remember what day that is? October 12th.
Thank you.
2 p.m. is the ribbon cutting.
2 p.m. ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
For those who would.
And I'll be attending that. And there's also an event that I think might be more just for an evening event as well, but I'm not sure if that's by invitation only.
Well, I think it's an RSVP one. So
yeah.
But the ribbon cutting is pretty special.
Yeah, and I'm going to get my first sort of look and tour of the new playground on Monday. They're having a Cops for Cancer event, and I'm going to go to and see. And then Mr. Halfyard said he'd give me a look at the playground in advance.
Okay, great. Excellent. No other reports? Okay. We will move on then to committee reports. Business Committee, Trustee Kimler.
Yeah, so there were 3 motions arising from the business committee. The first one is 13.1.1, which deals with the 2017 audited financial statements. And the motion is that the Board of Education of School District 68 Nanaimo Ladysmith receive and approve the 2017 audited financial statements.
Can I get a seconder to this motion? Trustee Berzovich. So moved by Kimler, seconded by Berzovich. All in favor? I guess I should ask if there's any discussion on this, but we've already discussed this, so okay. All in favor? No opposition, approved unanimously. Next one.
The next one is 13.1.2 and regards or pertains to the trustee electoral area. And the motion is that the Board of Education of School District number 68 Nanaimo Ladysmith directs staff to send a letter to the Ministry of Education, of Appreciation, Education for the notice of error, and it has no concerns with the boundary correction between District number 79 and District number 68 as presented.
Can I get a seconder? Trustee Solomon. Any discussion on this? Any further discussion on that little tiny sliver of land that we're going to get?
Yeah, I think the only real comment is that it involves a very small bit of land. It's like mostly record keeping, mapping, and there's presently nobody that lives within that very small piece of land.
And nobody that lives around it. So, all in favor?
Never know about the future.
Unanimous.
And the last one is 13.1.3 regarding, and this pertains to trustee remuneration and an annual CPI adjustment. And the motion was that the Board of Education of School District number 68 Nanaimo Ladysmith, upon a review of trustee remuneration, affirm and keep the current policy as written.
Are you amending the motion, the recommendation? That seemed.
I'm trying to reword it to satisfy your needs so that it doesn't.
I think we need to have it moved, and then somebody can move to amend it. So why don't you move it as the original recommendation?
Okay, so the original motion was that the Board of Education of School District number 68 Nanaimo Ladysmith, that the trustee remuneration remain consistent with current policy.
Can we get a seconder? Trustee Solomon? Okay. And now you would like to move an amendment?
Yeah, I would recommend a rewording of that. The rewording, again, to read that the motion was that the board, or is, that the Board of Education of School District number 68 Nanaimo Ladysmith, upon a review of trustee remuneration, affirm and keep the current policy as written.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Trustee Berzovich. So this is on debate on the amendment, whether people agree with the amendment, and then if you do, we'll go back to approve the motion. It's the same spirit, I feel.
Yeah.
So
just to speak to it briefly, yeah, it's just the spirit's the same. It's just to make it more clear what the process was and what the purpose is of reaffirming the policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further discussion on the amendment? All in favor of the amendment? Opposed? Unanimous. Now we will move any discussion on the amended recommendation. Motion. No? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay. Moving on. We're whipping through this with no presentation. Senior staff reports.
So
Superintendent Lane.
Thank you. So keeping up with your pace here. NDSS property piece and payments have been completed.
Okay.
And then Old Victoria Road, that parcel has been completed as well.
Okay, and how, sorry, I'll start with you, Trustee Kimler, and then I'll put myself next on the list. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a question regarding the receipt of payment for the NDSS property. I'm just wondering how it comes in. Do we get the full amount and then we let out the portion that we're paying half of for the field, or do we get only the portion that doesn't include the field?
I'll let the Secretary Treasurer.
Yeah, I'm also looking at Jetta. My understanding is we received the 4.1 in full, and then we've been expending that towards the field separately.
Okay, and my question is, is construction with the field still on
On schedule.
schedule for November
Yes.
1st-ish? Excellent. That is excellent. Any other questions on this?
Oh, just because I'm curious, no concerns about rain and weather and how that will affect construction?
I believe they're fairly confident that
Okay.
they can fulfill the contract.
Yeah.
But that is one of the issues,
Yeah,
by going in too late.
yeah.
It becomes too damp, yeah.
It's an all-weather field, so it should be all-weather
All
construction.
weather concern, yeah. I don't think it's quite as clear as that.
I also encourage people to go and look at the covered multi-purpose box at Barsby that's being built. I know that's a city construction, but it's starting to look really great, and it's going to be another great addition to that area. So
Lacrosse box.
the lacrosse
Yes.
box, which we're supposed to call a multi-purpose use, not just for lacrosse. Okay, anything else for the superintendent at this time? Nope. Okay. Unfinished business done. New business. Page 16. So this is a request for the cost of the rentals to be moved, to be waived. Is that correct? There's no recommendation here in the past. I read this, but I read it yesterday. Submit next letter for the board, or for the use of chairs, and they're going to be moved by someone else. So it's just to waive the cost of the chairs. My understanding is that there's no cost to the district on this? Correct? Would somebody like to move this?
I would love to move it.
Okay, Trustee Burzovich is moving that, what are you moving? Can you put-
Move that we donate the use of 50 chairs to the Cancer event on May 2nd. Yeah,
At no cost.
at no cost to the district.
Okay, can I get a seconder? Trustee Kimler? Any discussion on this?
Just briefly, it's a fantastic event. I think it's important that where we have opportunities to support community events and provide these kinds of in-kind donations, that we do it.
Excellent.
We're a part of the community, and that's part of it.
Excellent. Any other discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? None? Unanimous? Thank you. The next is for information, our board motions report and our vandalisms report. Any questions for our staff on these issues? Although we don't have them all here, so if there were, we'd probably have to refer them to business committee. No? Okay, question period. We have one question. Unfortunately, it is not about something that is on the agenda, so I would encourage you to write a letter. We would be happy to answer it, or you can talk to me after and I can give you the answer. The person who wrote this letter, former trustee Saunders, was actually the person who taught me most of what I know about the process here. And it's a slippery slope if we start including questions about things that are not on the agenda. So I'm happy to talk to you after to answer this question.
It's not a committee report, therefore it is appropriate to ask that question.
Well, it's not about a committee. Your question is about the trustee zones. And so I'm happy to either, if you'd like an official response, you can write a letter and we will give you an official response, or I'm happy to talk to you after. Whichever is easiest for you. So unfortunately, because it's not an issue that was discussed on the agenda. Is there, yes?
Motion to adjourn.
My only concern is
Yes.
our speakers.
They have not come.
I'm just concerned they thought it was 7 o'clock.
So we'll make room for them.
Okay.
It will not be next week at Ed Committee because that agenda is full.
Okay, yeah.
But this is a great presentation that we all like to hear, and it's really informative, and it informs some of our work, so we will definitely make room for them at an upcoming meeting.
Then, given that, second.
So moved by Trustee Kimler, seconded by Trustee Burzovich. Any objection to adjourning very early?
No objection.
All right, thanks everyone.